Y'all ready? All right, guys, are you ready, Jennifer? So many freaking emails. Good morning, everybody, or is it afternoon? I guess it's afternoon. Notice is hereby given pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Vernon's annotated civil statute, Article 625217, that the city of Smithville will conduct a special called meeting February 14, 2025 at 1 p.m. in the council chambers of City Hall, 317 Main Street, Smithville, Texas. I call this meeting to order. Discussion and possible action on the truck traffic on 4th Avenue from constructing the detention pond on Loop 230. Take it away, Tim.
Mayor, Council, thank y'all for having me this afternoon. What I just passed out is just kind of a memo summarizing the project a certain extent and some of the thought process that kind of have gone on since the design phase today and kind of hopefully it will give you a little bit of the background of the project as well as perhaps answer some of your questions. So anyway, I was just going to go over that if y'all are good with that. The purpose of the memorandum is to provide a brief history and a status update on the detention pond portion of the Loop 230 Regional Pond and Drainage Improvements Project and address some of the concerns that have been brought forth here in the last couple weeks and at the City Council meeting this past Monday night. The Loop 230 project consists of the installation of a new detention pond, stormwater pump station, and storm sewer system near the intersection of Loop 230 and Faulkner Road with the goal of providing drainage relief to the surrounding areas. The pond portion of the project involves the construction of an approximate 32 acre-feet in-size pond. The dirt work associated with the pond is approximately 56,000 cubic yards of material. There are several factors that can influence the cost of the dirt moving operation. Based on previous experience, the largest factor in the cost of dirt moving is typically how close the proposed disposal site is to the project location. Generally, the cost of moving excavated material increases as the haul route increases and vice versa. A second factor that can greatly influence the cost of excavation is ownership of the disposal site. It's not unusual for property owners to charge tipping fees for the disposal of material on their property. Thus, the cost of excavation and disposal of material is typically less if the entity that owns the project or is paying for the project also owns the disposal site. Based on that, BEFCO met with the city staff during the design phase of this project to determine if the city's dump site could be used for the disposal of the pond excavated material. It was during this time that the city dump site encountered fires related to the storage of brush, and the city was in the process of removing the brush material from the site. Additionally, the city's dump site was previously used in 2020 for the disposal of spoil material from the city warehouse detention pond project. Based on our discussion, it is agreed the city would take approximately 30,000 cubic yards of material to the city's dump site. This dirt would serve two purposes. One, the dirt could be used to cover any remaining mulch material, which in turn would help reduce the risk of fire. Two, the dirt could also be used in the future for erosion repairs at city-owned properties. For the remaining 26,000 cubic yards of material, it was agreed the city would leave the disposal of that material to the discretion of the contractor. Thus, if the contractor wanted to dispose of the remaining material at the city dump site, the city would take it. But if the contractor wanted to dispose of the material to a place of their choosing, they would have that option also. Basically, in doing it that way, we could get a good idea if it was cheaper to haul to the city dump site or another option. Based on the contractor's price, the unit price for the disposal of the 30,000 yards as well as the 26,000 yards was identically the same. Further, for both things, the contractor notified the city of their intention to take all material to the city's dump site. Based on this, it appears the city dump site provided the most cost-effective solution for the city. Concurrent to our discussions with city staff about the utilization of the city dump site as a possible spoil site, BEFCO drove the haul route from the project site to the dump site to evaluate if there were any potential issues. Beginning at the project site, the proposed haul route would extend west along State Loop 230, then south along State Highway 95, and then west along 4th Avenue and Dump Ground Road to the city dump site. Based on our engineering judgment, we did not see anything that would indicate this proposed haul route could not be safely utilized to haul excavated material to the dump site on a temporary basis, roughly 4 weeks or so, especially given the past history with other projects that utilize similar type haul equipment. As such, once it was agreed to transport spoils to the dump site, this specific route was included in the plan set. Since construction started, the contractor has excavated and disposed of approximately 15,000 cubic yards. This was based on discussions on Monday. We do have representatives from the contractor here today. They may be able to provide a more accurate assessment than what we have today, or than what I show in the memo, excuse me. Depending on the weather, the contractor anticipates excavation of the pond will be complete in approximately 2 to 3 weeks, given their current production levels. Based on correspondence I received via phone and email and my attendance at this past week's meeting, BEFCO understands there are concerns related to safety along 4th Street. As I indicated in my email to the city previously, BEFCO values the safety of the public and the protection of our clients and would not do anything to intentionally jeopardize either one. Given this, we'd like to address some comments that have been made pertaining to safe stopping site distance and lane widths along 4th Street. As stated in my February 6th email to the city, the minimum recommended stopping site distance for a speed limit of 30 miles per hour is 200 feet based on TxDOT's 2024 roadway design manual, and slightly increases depending on the road grade. With the email I sent to you, BEFCO provided various pictures at different points along 4th Street that supported the stopping site distance. This stopping site distance is achievable if traffic is compliant with the posted speed limit. Because additional questions were raised at the city council meeting specifically related to stopping site distance near the intersection with Live Oak and the closest driveways on either side of Live Oak Street, BEFCO would like to present a couple of additional pictures that we've taken since the meeting the other night to show there is sufficient stopping site distance for the posted speed limit. The first exhibit in your picture, Exhibit 1, on the left-hand side is an aerial of where we took the picture and the location of the truck. And the picture on the right shows where the truck is located, so you can get an idea of the view. The first picture was taken looking east from the first driveway west of Live Oak Street. Per the exhibit, there's approximately 310 linear feet of sight distance from where the picture was taken to where you can visibly see that truck. Exhibit 2, this picture was taken looking west from the first driveway east of Live Oak Street. Per the exhibit, there too, there's approximately 310 linear feet of sight distance. The third exhibit was taken looking east from the second driveway on the south side of 4th Avenue west of Live Oak Street. Per the exhibit, there's approximately 270 linear feet of sight distance. And this one was taken, as you can see, I know there were some questions about the top of the hill and being the crest right there at this intersection. So I took another picture just west of 4th Street. So you can actually see in this picture, we're on the downside and you can see where the top of the hill as well as the truck coming over there. So get it a good idea. In other words, how it pertains to coming over the hill. Based on what we measured, there's approximately 270 linear feet of sight distance. Given the above and the information provided previously via email, there appears to be sufficient stopping sight distance based on the posted speed limit of 30 miles per hour. With regards to the road width, Fourth Avenue varies, but generally appears to be approximately 22 to 24 feet wide, based on what we measured from edge of pavement to edge of pavement in a couple of spots, as well as on aerial photography. Based on guidelines in TxDOT's 2024 roadway design manual, Fourth Avenue would likely be classified as a rural town local road, which recommends a minimum lane width of 9 feet in residential areas, 10 feet in non-industrial areas, and 11 feet in industrial areas. Again, those are minimums. It certainly can be more. Those are minimums. On a normal basis, Fourth Avenue is typically used for service to residential area. However, on a temporary basis during hauling operations for the Loop 230 project, it would likely be considered industrial given the type of traffic. As such, minimum recommended lane width would be 11 feet, which in turn would result in a minimum roadway width of 22 feet. Given this and the existing conditions of Fourth Avenue, there appears to be sufficient roadway width for hauling operations. Attached for reference in Exhibit 4 is a photo that we recently took showing two haul trucks passing. As shown in the pictures, the two trucks were able to pass without either truck extending beyond the edge of pavement. Additional concerns were brought forth at the council meeting with regards to the observed behavior of some of the haul truck operators, including exceeding the posted speed limits, operating beyond regular working hours, not following the prescribed haul route in the plan documents, etc. All these concerns have been conveyed to the contractor. Further, as has been mentioned previously, the contractor has been told citations will be issued in the event vehicles are non-compliant with the posted speed limits or any other applicable local state laws. One thing I did want to point out, and I know this came up about potentially haul trucks utilizing a different haul route than what was in the plans. One thing that and as I'm sure you guys are aware, we do have two different construction projects in town, one in the downtown area as well as this Loop 230 project. I do know that the one in the downtown area, sometimes their haul trucks utilize First Street, and it's possible, I'm not saying this was the case, but it's possible maybe those trucks got confused with the Loop 230 truck. So I just want to say that. I'm not saying anybody didn't see what they saw. That's not my intent, but just so we understand, there are different projects going on. And for people not intimately involved in the projects, I could definitely understand where people might get, a haul truck's a haul truck regardless of where it's coming from. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Finally, as mentioned in my email last week, the city may choose to provide additional measures to improve safety. Since last week, I've spoken with the city manager several times, and we've discussed additional safety measures that could be implemented, including the following. Reducing haul hours from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Reduce speed along 4th Avenue to 25 miles per hour for haul trucks. It is my understanding a city ordinance would need to be adopted to legally change the speed limit. However, we have made a request to the contractor to observe a 25 mile per hour reduced speed along 4th Avenue. And what they've indicated to us is they would agree to try to abide by this. Third, install additional signage along the haul route, including the temporary stop signs at the intersection of 4th Avenue and Live Oak, placement of a city radar and message board, and placement of truck traffic signage along Loop 230 at the project site. These measures, as summarized in Robert's email to you guys yesterday, along with local police enforcement of traffic laws, should provide enhanced safety measures above and beyond what is otherwise required. I came to town this morning to visit the 2nd Street project, and then I also drove by the Loop 230 project as well as out to 4th Street. I didn't go all the way to the dump site, but based on what I saw, The temporary stop signs have been installed at the intersection. Radar has been placed in a couple of different spots. And then the signage has gone up on Loop 230. So it appears everything has been implemented based on what I saw this morning. So with that being said, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Again, like I said, there's representatives from the contractor. If y'all would like to ask questions of them directly. But I
Just to keep this simple, let's have the contractor come up here and and Chief of Police, Repka. These are our three main characters that are playing a role in all this. Safety, he is taking care of the job site, and this is our engineer. So to keep it simple, I think it'd be easier if you want to come up here, Chief Repka, and you ask your questions, because as far as I am concerned, these are the three people that can answer your questions. That way, excuse me, that way everybody can be heard, and I want everybody's questions addressed, and so come on.
and again, just to summarize, I don't want y'all to think that we're not taking safety seriously.
I think you're taking safety seriously, and I appreciate all your hard work. And Kathy, go ahead.
Well, given the situation and it appears that, Robert and you all have, implemented additional measures for safety. That was one reason I voted to have this special meeting, because the safety concern is paramount. I followed a couple of the trucks today at 2 different times, and everything, I'm not saying that there are not a lot of trucks or a lot of noise. I understand the situation, and residents are upset, but given the additional measures and the fact that this is an important project, this fill dirt is serving a purpose. And I felt, given what I observed this morning, that we should continue on with this project. And unfortunately, I know it doesn't make everybody happy, but we live in a community where we all have to sometimes make sacrifices, and we all live together. So as unfortunate that is I would like to continue this project to see it completed.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your work.
All the steps that were taken, authorized by the city manager, I think were appropriate. I've never had any issues with the decision to use the dump site, just the safety concerns. And the reason we're here today is law did not permit us to have this kind of dialogue and this kind of interaction at the meeting, because it wasn't on the agenda. So I appreciate what everyone's done, what the city manager did. I'm totally comfortable with the mitigants that's been put in place.
Thank you.
I think they've covered all of it. I think you guys are doing what is necessary to make this as safe and as comfortable as it can. I know with Kathy, I've been up there 2 or 3 times, watched from the top of the hill and watched from the bottom. As long as we stay with the speed limit, everything's good.
Tyrone, you want to add anything?
Yeah. I appreciate what y'all doing out there, Tim. And, I deal with trucks every day. And I know y'all being safe up there. I appreciate the dirt, because the fire department spent a lot of hours out there, and I'm like, a lot of hours. So I
Amen to
appreciate
our
that.
volunteer fire department. All right, what you got?
Ditto with everything that's been said. Matter of fact, the feedback I've been getting from text and phone calls is shifted. And there appears to be a willingness to accept the inconvenience because the safety issues have been addressed. I did have 2 questions. It's a standard operating procedure that in the morning you have safety meetings with all the drivers and reinforce.
We do CC Carlton. We have safety representatives.
Like microphone. You're tall, so.
I know, sorry. So at CC Carlton, we have safety representatives that go to the site 2-3 times a week. And then we do standard JHA. So all of our crews, truck drivers, anybody's will sign in, job hazards, what their expectations are. They sign off on that in writing. We date that. So we make sure that the drivers are well aware. Stay within the precautions, stay underneath the speed limit. And we do encourage law enforcement, if you see them out of line going over the speed limit, write them a citation. We've made that well aware to them.
That was my second question for Chief Repka. Have there been citations issued to reinforce? Was there a need for it?
There's been 3.
3?
Okay.
For running the stop sign at the very end. They just naturally come off the dump ground road and kind of ease through that. So, and then there was one speeding citation written down at the bridge, and then one in town.
I'm sure that reinforces the message. Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. We got 2 people signed up.
Jenny Bush.
Hi, Jenny Bush, 204th Avenue. I'm the Queen of the Hill guys, and I see, I've been up there 24/7 watching you. I've been sitting in my window today and your truck drivers were waving at me. And because I had inside the house and they saw me. The changes have been only visible today because we started today after the signs were in. And my neighbors are all saying that we like the stop signs and you might consider keeping them there. So if we could, I'm serious. They have all said that. So if you want to look into that, in the long term, they didn't mind them. The other thing is, you guys, the trucks are still not stopping. They roll through, they slow down, they get there, they don't even go to their wheels don't stop, I promise you. And they just go into the next gear to go back up a speed. So, just mention that to them. And then the big one was the change between the 3 times that I sat there and counted and documented last week before the rain. And then today, the count went from 21 trucks passing in 30 minutes to 32. So they're going to be getting their dirt out, even though your time has been constrained. So you've managed that well. And then the other thing is I think I got it written down. The types of trucks. I know there must be another job going on because even on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, there were these short dump trucks coming by. And they weren't the tractor trailers with the 18-wheelers. And they were so quiet. And so I'm just wondering, is that another job? And I remember when the bridge was out and there were trucks coming by my corner, which devastated the corner and tore off the signs and my steps back then because they were turning that corner. There were like 70 trucks going by per hour. And it wasn't as bad because I think it's because of the style of truck or the way that those trucks work. So the other one was I counted today, let me get my exact count. I starred the number of trucks in 21, 32 trucks per half hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks were considered quiet, compliant, well, like the drivers were doing a good job. And out of the other 21, they were just loud. It's their equipment. I'm wondering if their equipment is being looked at because some of them rattle like crazy and some of them have horrible like gear shifting and muffling and stuff. Oh, right. I was going to give you a sample. Okay. But thank you. I think it's drivers.
Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate you. We appreciate your concern. And you keep them straight up on the hill. These are the faces you're looking at right back there.
I know.
And you go get them.
And thank you guys for getting going what we did.
Thank
so
you.
far.
I appreciate you. Who's our next one?
Next is Judith Bergeron.
Hi, Judy.
Judy Bergeron, 111 4th Avenue. And I'm coming today as a citizen and a resident of the Hill as opposed to a city employee. But I wanted to say thank you to the people that are responsible for implementing these new changes because I saw a lot of a need for the stop signs at Live Oak entering 4th Ave before the trucks ever showed up because there was a total disregard for the yield sign and the residents were pulling out onto Live Oak onto 4th Ave. So the trucks, if anything, made it a little safer because they're taller and more visible. So as you're approaching 4th Ave, then it's easier to make that yield sign. So as far as having the stop signs at 4th Ave, Chief, we'll probably want them. No. I don't know about the one on Fourth Ave that's stopping everybody at Live Oak, but it's important to me that these trucks are making their way up to the dump, because in 2014, I stood on the side of Highway 71 and watched my home burn. And Heart of the Pines, with help from the Smithville VFD, managed to contain it to just the home. It didn't spread. It's up where Black Tree Ranch is now. So that's a high fire area. And so every time I smell the smoke from the dump fire smoldering and burning, it's a reminder of that. And knowing that those trucks are taking the dirt up there to mitigate the risk of fire is important to me. And I would think it would be important to the neighbors up on the hill. So if I have to choose between trucks rolling up the hill and an increased fire risk, I'd say roll on. So thank you for making that happen, both the engineers, Edward's crew, and the contractors. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the word. Thank you for the kind words. Anything else?
Had one other thing I just wanted to, I guess, ask or get y'all's feelings on. This was something that was discussed this week with the weather and the way this contract was structured is to basically Monday through Friday, anything that would be done on weekends would have to be approved by city. This has come up, with all of our projects from time to time in that, and with unpredictability of weather, things can mess stuff up. But I guess my question is, I told everyone I'd bring this to council is, if we get in a situation where weather knocks out 3 or 4 days a week, the question was asked, would they be able to work on Saturday, given the additional safety measures that have been implemented in order to, I guess, catch up from the week as well as get this project done as quickly as we can, so everyone can move on.
And remember, this is a grant. And so we have to meet all the criteria of the grant. And so some Saturdays will be required, as you know, the weather is coming in. So
And as I said,
thank you for bringing it to our attention.
we've not authorized that, but given the situation, I wanted to check with you.
No, I just think that's a city manager decision.
Okay, well, we'll put that in the city manager decision then.
Okay.
City manager will make that call. Anything else? No action taken. This meeting is no, it's not. Oh, no, I asked her. You also have a meeting at 1:30.
I know. Okay. Hey, Edward Belusic, Public Works Director. Hey, and I guess back to the safety aspect of this and everything for Dill. Also, like this morning, we're going to have to do something with the citizens because they're still jumping out in front of these trucks, trying to stop them in the mornings and everything and stuff and tell them, hey, you're running too fast, you're too loud, whatever. Well, these guys are taking their aspects and doing the safety measures that we've put out for them, but we have to stop these people. We had a guy this morning out there and we were trying to chase him down. He showed up on the job site. I don't think he ever made the actual inside the job site. Y'all might be able to feel a little more, but
That's a PD
That's
issue.
deal with.
There's your
Chief
guy right
Rivka.
there. That's your
Chief
guy.
Rivka, you make sure that people are not jumping out and doing things that would impede traffic.
I mean, if they have a problem or anything, they need to call me.
Proper channels to go.
But yeah, let
That is.
us take care of it, get it to there or whatever.
You on it?
That's all I want to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? What? Are you? If you're gonna say something, come on. What do you have to say?
Erica near 103 4th Avenue. I also want to say thank you to you guys and for the measures that you did take and put the stop signs up. That did make a huge difference and we did really see it at as soon as it happened. So thank you guys for that. And again, what Judy said, I live up on the hill. The neighbors here that are here live up on the hill, and that is important for us, is making sure that safety measures are being taken so that we don't have a fire up there. So that's it.
Right, and I think our city manager has addressed all that and he's trying to get in front of it, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. All right, no action taken. This meeting is adjourned. All right. Edward, oops.